When DeAngelo Williams had his debut wrestling match at TNA Slammiversary XV in 2017, Dave Meltzer of the Wrestling Observer said it was freaky how good he was. This guy probably has the potential to be one of the greatest wrestlers I've ever seen. And later tweeted out DeAngelo Williams was the best ever celebrity that he'd seen in the ring. Now granted, this is before we'd seen Bad Bunny at WrestleMania 37 or Snoop Dogg's iconic Frog Splash in AEW, but that's still very high praise from Meltzer. I'm the Stitcher, and this is Wrestling with Stitches Presents or Wrestling Retrospective, DeAngelo Williams' debut in TNA. Now hit my music. Now I personally have a soft spot for DeAngelo Williams because he was on my fantasy football team, Macklin Sanity, during his final season as a Pittsburgh Steeler. He was also one half of a 1,000-yard rushing duo with Jonathan Stewart, not the Green Lantern Jonathan Stewart, different guy, while he was a member of the Carolina Panthers, only the sixth duo to accomplish that feat in NFL history. Anyway, this isn't Footballing with Stitches or Laces and Stitches Presents. Back to wrestling. On the April 27th episode of Impact, Moose was accompanied to the ring by DeAngelo Williams and Gary Barnage. Wait, Gary Barnage? Okay, we've established that this isn't Footballing with Stitches, Game of Stitches, whatever. All I know is that 1,000-yard, 9-touchdown season for Cleveland in 2015 was out of nowhere and wild. Actually, one more thing on Barnage. In an interview with Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful in 2020, Moose said that Barnage had also expressed interest in having a match, and that if that were to ever happen, Gary Barnage would want Moose to be his first opponent. So Williams and Barnage accompanied Moose to the ring for his Impact Grand Championship defense against Davey Richards. The match ended by disqualification when Eddie Edwards ran to the ring and attacked Richards, furthering the feud of the former American Wolves tag team partners. After the match, Richards accidentally bumped into DeAngelo Williams while jawing with Edwards. He gets up in DeAngelo's face and gets shoved to the mat for his trouble. Gary Barnage adds insult to injury with a massive 6'5" scoop slam. This is the only time that we see DeAngelo Williams in the Impact Zone until his match at Slammiversary. 2 weeks later, after a successful defense of the Grand Championship against Marche Rocket, Tyrus, I won't get into it. Tyrus walked down the ramp to allow Eli Drake, to attack Moose from behind. Chris Adonis joined Drake in the ring to continue the beatdown of Moose, with Jeremy Borash citing Moose's history with both men in a the enemy of my enemy is my friend kind of story with Eli Drake and Chris Adonis. The back and forth between Moose and Drake and Adonis goes on for a few more weeks until the June 22nd episode of Impact, airing from Mumbai, India, when Moose revealed that his mystery partner for Slammiversary would be none other than DeAngelo Williams, the star of this show. And then after that reveal, we got another Moose beatdown. Moose got beat up a lot in the lead up to Slammiversary. Don't worry, DeAngelo Williams is on the way. Finally, on July 2nd, in the second match of Slammiversary, Moose and DeAngelo Williams came to the ring accompanied by Gary Barnage and NASCAR driver Austin Dillon, who had recently won the Coca-Cola 600. This isn't Racing with Stitches Presents. Now I'm not going to do a full play-by-play of the entire match. I'm just here to add a little color. I'm not Jim Nance. I'm Tony Romo. I'm not Joe Davis. I'm Greg Olson. I'm not Mike Tirico. I'm Chris Collinsworth. Okay, maybe not that one. But I do have some respect for Patrick Mahomes' game. The match starts with Moose and Adonis in the ring, and Moose gets the upper hand in short order, so Adonis tags Drake in. Eli Drake is no dummy, so he immediately calls for DeAngelo Williams to tag himself in. Moose quickly obliges. Drake and Williams eventually have a very good chain wrestling sequence, of which Williams comes out the winner before tagging Moose back in. Drake and Adonis eventually get the upper hand on Moose for a little while until Moose mooses up and hits Adonis with a lunging lariat for the double down. Now, Williams is getting hyped on the apron, and he eventually pops his shirt off. I'm not going to do that. Before taking the hot tag from Moose and running wild on Drake, he caps it off with a bow to the hard cam and a beautiful standing moonsault. I'm not going to do that either, for a 2 count. At this point, the match breaks down completely, and all 4 wrestlers are in the ring. Moose hits a running senton, followed by a DeAngelo Williams running senton, and ended off with Williams jumping on Moose's back for a double running senton on Adonis. All 4 contestants eventually end up outside the ring, and a table is introduced. DeAngelo, get the tables! Drake and Adonis eventually isolate Moose and lay him on the table inside the ring. Drake goes to the top rope, but takes a little bit too much time gloating, and Williams shoves him off. Moose recovers, hits Adonis with a pump kick. That was pretty good. See the air I got there? And DeAngelo Williams climbs to the top rope. He hits a picture-perfect frog splash, but that 129-inch broad jump from his pro day at Memphis came back to bite him, and he overshot the splash by a few inches, resulting in a very awkward landing. The table ended up surviving, but it was still enough to keep Adonis down for the 1, 2, 3. Now, is the Stitcher going to make fun of a guy for being too athletic and overshooting his mark in his debut wrestling match? Hell no. You guys just saw my pump kick. I have no grounds to make fun of anybody for their athleticism. Oh, my hamstring. DeAngelo Williams was phenomenal in this match, and we ended up getting wood in this match anyway when Moose dragged Eli Drake back into the ring and powerbombed him through the table. DeAngelo Williams appeared for TNA one more time as an honorary member of Moose's current faction, The System, in January of 2024. But Williams has made it clear in interviews that Slammiversary XV was his debut and his retirement in the ring. Williams told Adam Schefter during an interview with his Know Them From Adam podcast that Josh Matthews, a commentator for TNA at the time, and a longtime friend of Williams, called him and asked him if he'd ever want to wrestle for TNA. He originally told Matthews no, but got to thinking about his uncle who got him into wrestling as a kid. Williams told Schefter that his uncle asked him if he'd ever get in the ring. Williams told his uncle he didn't think he would, but his uncle told him that it would be a dream come true to see his nephew have a match. So after originally saying no, and then thinking of his uncle, Williams had a change of heart, called Matthews back, and said that he wanted to wrestle after all. Matthews said, well, you know celebrity matches, they don't really wrestle. To which Williams responded, I want to wrestle. This is bigger than me. I respect the sport too much to go in there and not perform like a wrestler. And it's safe to say that this performance at Slammiversary did not disappoint. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, and be sure to hit that little bell to be warned. Notified? Notified, I guess, when a new video drops. Also, if you want to support this channel, please check out patreon.com/wrestlingwithstitches. There are many tiers offering many things, from having your name in the credits to having your own little personal wrestling character, like this, appear in the credits, to being in the drawing for each week's featured stitch, among many other things. And speaking of the featured stitch, here is the one for this video. It is DeAngelo Williams and Moose from TNA Slammiversary XV, in case you're just tuning in, which would be very weird, but I'm not here to judge. Also, I have another shop. It's coffee.com/wrestlingwithstitches. You can find this in the bio. But I offer free professional wrestling cross-stitch patterns. Download as many as you like. They're always free. I'm also going to be offering my cross stitches, which you can see behind me up there, which you can purchase. Also, follow me for shorts on here, or follow me over on TikTok, or anywhere else you can find people. Blue Sky, Twitter. I will be featuring lots of professional wrestling cross stitches on top of these wrestling retrospectives, okay? So, to cap things off, what do you guys think? Is DeAngelo Williams the GOAT of celebrity professional wrestling, or are there other names that belong in the running? Please comment below. Thank you for being here. Love you all. Bye-bye.